Good morning, boys and girls. This is Miss DeAngelis with your skills lesson. Let's take a look at what we're going to learn today. We will blend and segment two-syllable words with up to 7 sounds, and we will read and answer comprehension questions about the story, The Big Dig. Let's get started. Now we're going to blend and segment words. We will also count how many syllables. This is the word garden. How many syllables are in the word garden? Remember, you can use your chin dip strategy or your clapping strategy. Let's see. Garden. Did you say 2? If you did, you are correct. Now let's count how many sounds we hear in the word garden. In order to count the sounds, we want to touch our fingers to our thumbs. Are you ready? G, R, D, N. How many sounds did you hear? Right, we heard 5 sounds. Now let's look at the word attic. How many syllables are in the word attic? Use your chin dip strategy or your clapping. Right, attic. How many syllables were there? If you said 2, you're correct. Now let's touch our fingers to our thumb and sound out the word attic. A, t, I, k. How many sounds did we hear? That's right, we heard 4 sounds. The next word is goldfish. How many syllables are in the word goldfish? Remember to use your chin dip strategy or your clapping. Ready, go. Goldfish. How many syllables were in the word goldfish? Right, 2. Now let's sound the word out together. You're going to touch your fingers to your thumb. Let's go. G, O, L, D, F, I, sh. How many sounds did you hear in the word goldfish? Right, we heard 7 sounds. Great job. The next word is mopping. How many syllables are in the word mopping? Ready? Go. Mopping. How many syllables? Right, there were 2. Now let's sound the word out together, touching our fingers to our thumb. M, A, P, I, Ng. How many sounds did you hear? Right, 5 sounds. Great job. The next word is darkness. How many syllables do we hear in darkness? Ready, go. Darkness. Right, there are 2 syllables. Now, let's sound out the word together. Touch your fingers to your thumb. D, R, K, N, S. Darkness. How many sounds did we hear in the word darkness? Right, we heard 6 sounds. Great job. Sweeter. How many syllables are in the word sweeter? Ready, go. Sweeter. Now let's sound it out together. Touching your fingers to your thumb. Ready, go. S, w, e, t, er. How many sounds did we hear in the word sweeter? That's right. We heard 5 sounds. Great job, guys. Pat your brain. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to complete the sentence. What we need to do is circle the word that fits best in the sentence and then write it neatly on the line. We blank the food up in the tree. Hoisted or planted. Right. Hoisted. I flipped off my blank and went to sleep. Letter or lantern. Right. Lantern. If you need to pause the video, do so now to write. She was blank a large bug bite, scratching or stuffing. Right. She was scratching. Number 4, Jack made Nan and Kate and blank to take them camping. A clatter or an offer. Right, an offer. Number 5, Jack had blank for the fire. Matches or magic. Right, matches. The blank robbed the stagecoach. Right, the outlaws. Number 7, they nabbed Bart blank a long hunt. After or today. After, great job. Number 8, in the end, Bart shaped up and was blank with crime. Starting or finished. Right, he was finished. Story introduction. The last story we read was about Kate finding out two good things, that they found a T-Rex bone and they could name it. The bad thing was that they weren't able to keep the bone. This story is called The Big Dig. Can you make a prediction of what it is about based on the title? I want you to tell me right now. I predict the story is about Awesome. We will see if you're correct. Let's go over some vocabulary. Expose. To reveal or uncover something. For example, I lifted the rock to expose the big bug. Site. A place. For example, this is the site where we will camp. Plaster. A wet material that hardens when it dries and can protect things such as bones. For example, when I broke my arm, I got a cast made of plaster. Lab. A place where science experiments and research take place. For example, my dad works in a lab. Picks. Tools with very sharp ends that can break away at rocks. For example, we used picks on our dinosaur hunt. The Big Dig. When we went back to the cliff, the Bone Man was there with some helpers. They had scraped the side of the cliff to expose a lot of the T-Rex. So will you dig out all of the bones here on site? Asked Nan. No, said the Bone Man. The next step will be to carve this cliff into large blocks of rock. Then we will wrap the blocks up in plaster. The plaster will keep the bones from cracking. Then we will use a large crane to set the blocks on trucks. Then the trucks will take them to my lab. Once the blocks are there, we will start digging the bones out of the blocks. What sort of tools do you use for that? Asked Nan. We use tools a lot like the ones dentists use on teeth, brushes and sharp picks. Kate and I use forks, said Max. How long will it take to carve all of the bones out of the rocks? Jack asked. Well, said the Bone Man, we've got a lot to do. It will take some time because we have to be careful not to wreck the bones. Will you be finished by the end of summer? I asked. No, said the Bone Man. You and Max will have to visit next summer and perhaps the summer after that. Then we can catch up on our digging progress. So, said the Bone Man, have you picked out a name for this T-Rex? Yes, I've picked one, I said. All of the diggers stopped digging and looked at me. I said, this T-Rex will be named Max, or if you'd like, T-Max. All of the men cheered. Max smiled. Okay. Now you're going to open up your books to this page. Make sure you write your name and your date, just like I did. Number 1. In order to get the bones out, the diggers have to blast a hole into the cliff, get bigger tools soon, or cut the cliff up into large blocks of rock. Right. They have to cut the cliff up into large blocks of rock. Number 2. How will the plaster keep the bones safe? Right. The plaster will keep the bones safe by keeping them from cracking. Number 3. What tools would they use at the lab to get the bones out of the blocks? They use brushes and sharp picks to get the bones out of the blocks. Number 4. What did Kate name the T-Rex? Kate named it Max, or T-Max. This completes today's skills lesson. Great job, everyone. Make sure you send a picture of your work to your teacher.